Well, it's February 26th, about 12:30 in the afternoon. I just started boiling. Here you can see I have a fan that forces a draft to make it boil a little faster. I have this, there's the door. I have a 2-foot by 6-foot pan. Let's see if we can take a look and see what it's doing. Just started boiling, so that means that the sugar content at this point is only about 2%. Maybe 3%, depending on how good the sap was coming out of the trees. So much steam you can't really see. Over here is a preheater pan. It's at the very end of the pan, and I put fresh sap in there. And what it does, the stovepipe then will heat up this fresh sap to a temperature that's a little higher than if I put it in out of the bucket. And then I let it drip into the pan, and that will keep me from losing the boil as I go. I try to put it in at about the rate that I'm boiling, which right now is probably about 15 gallons an hour. Sometimes I can get up closer to 20 gallons an hour. It just depends on the type of wood, how fast it's burning, how hot it's burning, all those things. I'll back up and show you what it does here. The steam then just rises, and I have plastic that will catch it, and it goes up and right out of the roof, which I'll show you on that other video that I made just before I walked in this door. Here we can take a look at the steam as it coming out of the sugar shack. I have it to where it rises straight above the pan and out. That way I don't get all the condensation or water buildup inside. Sometimes when the wind is going the wrong direction, it will create some problems, but today it's doing quite well, it looks like. Alright, well, let's take a look at the fire. I turned off the fan. It's time for me to change the wood. I put new wood in it about 20 minutes ago. This is extremely hot. It's hard to see, but what the idea here is, and let me back up so you can see, the fire will race across the bottom of the pan. That's why they call this an arch, because the design allows the fire to reach the entire bottom of the pan as it burns. That is very, very hot. I'm going to have to turn this off. Alright, well, let's take a look and see if the sap is running today. It's about 1:17 in the afternoon. Let's see. Yes, it is. It's not running fast, but it is running, so that means that this evening or tomorrow I will have to collect more sap, which is good. Well, here we are inside the sugar shack. Just wanted to show you a few things. Here I have 4 55-gallon drums. This is where I bring fresh sap in and store it. And what I do then is just put it into the buckets, and from there I put it into the pan. To get it in here, I use this ATV. This is a Kawasaki Mule. It's 4-wheel drive. I've had to put chains on it. See, I have chains on the tires there so I don't get stuck on the ice, snow, and mud. And I have 2 35-gallon tanks. I bring the sap in a bucket, and then I put it into the tank. You can see that I have 35-gallon tanks here. Sometimes I have them both filled at the same time, which really weights down my mule. And then I have valves where I can empty it into buckets, and from the buckets it goes into the barrels I just showed you. So it's a pretty easy process. It takes a lot of time, but it's the best way I can do it. And there we are, boiling again. Alright, I've been boiling now about 7 hours. Let's see how we're doing. I've added about 100 gallons of sap through the day. Pretty hard to see. There, you can see it boiling a little bit. Starting to get a little darker. See the steam. Then you see some rain gutters there. These rain gutters collect the water that drips down on the plastic. And it comes down and runs into a barrel where I collect distilled water, which I keep here in case I have a problem. I can get water really quickly, or I can just use it as distilled water. Alright, let's see how we're doing now. It's midnight, so we've been boiling almost 12 hours. You can see it's getting a lot darker. I've let the boil slow down so I can go to bed here in a minute. So there's much less steam. So you can see now maybe it going up and leaving the building. I'll have to finish this off tomorrow, and hopefully I can share that with you. Okay, Sunday afternoon. I'm getting ready to pull this pan off because it's almost finished and it's boiling really low in the pan. I want to make sure I get it off in time that I don't overcook it, and we'll be finishing up inside today or tomorrow. There's still about 8 gallons of almost syrup in here, which inside will cook down to about 4 gallons of finished syrup. There's Rex. Say hi, Rex. Say hi to the Hammersville guys. Okay, just pulled the pan off. It's very shallow in the pan, and I am drawing it off through a filter. This is a pre-filter. It's not the filter we'll finish before we bottle with. And it goes into a 5-gallon bucket. And from there I'll take it inside and we'll finish it off.